What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be my last video for the year, I think. We're going to be going through, actually that's already a lie. I think I'm going to do hot and cold water in this video, and then if there's time, I might do some of the waste lines. We'll see what we're at by the time we're done with hot and cold water. But we're going to plumb up a little bathroom so you can kind of see how the plumbing fixtures work in Revit. And this is a video for you to be able to follow along, but also kind of a reference for me for the future to look back at. So there's going to be a little bit of setup here before we can actually start plumbing, but get to that point in just a little bit. So I got my little mock house here, my level 1 plan, and we're going to be plumbing this here bathroom, making it look nice and neat and clean. First things first, tub is actually fine. The toilet is we're not going to really be able to interact with for a waistline. It's okay. But we're going to probably end up deleting toilet and 2 sinks. So I'm going to start by importing some objects. You can find these on my class website under the drafting tab. You go down to the bottom and there's a thing that says resources. We're going to insert a new, you're going to press load family. We're going to go to the desktop here and grab these 3 files here. So there's 3 files in that resources tab, a double vanity, the toilets, and a P-trap, and you're going to need all 3 of those for the video. For now, we're going to bring in this toilet, and hopefully it'll let us place that in. Component, maybe, place component. Oh, there's my toilet, fancy toilet. We're going to press spacebar to rotate that around and give some space to place our toilet next to the tub here. Okay, and then let me grab the sink. We're going to do the same thing. So we'll go back to insert, load family. We're going to grab that double vanity and we're going to get that placed in. Architecture component, place component here. See if I can. Not showing up. Oh, I think it's because of the height that's coming in, elevation from level. Let's put it at like 2 feet. See if we're able to see it. There we go. Change the elevation from level, and we have that there for a nice place for us to wash our hands. Pause real quick, shut the door. Okay, so we're looking here on our document, and we've got this architectural view where we can see what we're doing. We've got our sink and our toilets here, and turn off thick lines, I think. Okay, got our sinks and our toilets, so that's looking fine and dandy. And then we're gonna need to have some water that's being supplied to these. We also need a way to view through the walls. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I have my architectural plan here, but I want to scroll down in my project browser. I'm going to go down to plumbing and look at the plumbing floor plans. And I want to create a plumbing callout. I'm going to click on my plumbing floor plan, which should show those plumbing fixtures. We want to create a callout. So we're going to go to View and then choose Plumbing Callout. And I'm just going to do, I'm actually going to go, this may seem a little strange, I'm going to go all the way to the edge of the house because we're going to have piping coming all the way down there. And then we've got our little callout here, which should be showing up somewhere over here in our floor plans there. Okay, so we've got our plumbing callout here, and this is where we're going to set up some views. So I'm going to do a 3D view, camera, and I want to get some views of kind of the back of this wall so we can see what's going on in the bathroom. Maybe we'll go like this to see the sink. Suppose we could go all the way through. So we'll create a view there. That allows us to kind of rotate around, which is nice. We can see the sink from our viewpoint. You can change your view angle over here too. And the high elevation, I'm going to maybe change that to like 3 feet. Going to bring us a little bit lower down. change the detail to fine. Now let's throw in that shaded view so we can see the plumbing. So that's pretty helpful. So we've got a view there. I'm going to add another one maybe at this corner there so we can see our plumbing that we're doing. And that one looks good. I'm going to do the same thing, change the eye elevation to maybe 2 feet or something like that. You can right-click and drag to rotate. And change the detail to fine, and a nice shaded view so we can see our plumbing there. Looking nice. Looking pretty good. Okay, and then let's do one more from this other side. Actually, that's probably good. We can kind of see everything. 2 angles. If we need another one, we'll make one. So right now we're just setting up our viewpoints. We've got some 3D views that we're able to see, which is great. Got our plumbing call out. So I can close the plumbing view. We've got our call out. That's enough. The next thing I want to do is a section view. So we're going to do a section view in between the bathtub and the toilet. And this is going to help us switch, where we're viewing the plumbing and what we're looking at. So we now have a tab down here that opens up our section view. We've got section 3. So we can open that up and take a look. And it looks a little funny. It looks a little funny because it's really tall. You can resize this so you're just seeing the floor there. Okay. You can see down into the basement down here. We've got a basement for our house, and that's okay. So we've got this little view. We can zoom in. Again, change that detail to fine. We can see the bathtub fixtures there. If you want to make this a little bit wider, you can. But that doesn't really. Okay, and let's make this shaded. We can see that bathtub. That's looking nice. Okay, that's a little weird that those are sticking out of the thing, but whatever. Okay, so if I go to my section view, if I go to my call out, and I change the direction, and I go back to my section, now looking at the toilet. So see that toilet, and we can figuring that out as well. So that's good. All right, so I'm gonna go back to my plumbing call out. We've got our first section view here in just a minute. And you know what, why don't we go ahead and save at this point? We've done a little bit of work, we've set up some stuff, and I wanna make sure we have our information documented. I'm gonna click on my view, we're gonna start with that bathtub. Now it's finally time to start plumbing. So I'm gonna go to Insert, and I think in the Systems tab, if you go, I think we need to load in hot and cold water. So I think we have to go to Insert, Load Autodesk Family, and actually maybe not with this particular tub. Let me see. If I click on the tub, oh no, it looks like it's got an output for us. So that's just fine. So output is 1/4 inch here. So on this particular drawing here, if you click on the tub, it's got those fixtures pre-built in to this Autodesk family. Some of them don't have that. If you need to load in the cold water stuff, you go to cold water, search that up, and there's a bunch of pipe connectors and stuff that come in, domestic cold water. It might just help to load these all in now. So we have them. I'm going to go to load, and I'm going to load in all the hot water. And there's the domestic hot water. Okay. Oh, and there's a hot water heater, hot water maker. So I'm going to grab all that and load those into our Autodesk file. Some of those are a hot water source or a cold water source that you can mount in the wall if your fixture, for example, doesn't have one of these add-ons. I don't know what this is called. I'll send you it. So we can click here. We'll do cold water first. So I'm going to click this little spout. If you're doing cold water pipes, what is the size? It says it's 1/2 inch. That's fine. A lot of this stuff, this cold water is 3/4 inch. We can work with 3/4 if you want, but I come to here, it spits back an error here. It says that it couldn't find the matching pipe segment. We're in PVC. I think we don't want PVC here. I think we want, we click the tub. I think we want to choose this pipe, and I think we want this chilled water option. Fine. That's a very small pipe. We're going to go to 3/4 inch coming off of here, and hopefully it's got all the fixtures we need. All right, it's not going to be kicking back in here just a second. Okay, so it's not looking to, it's looking for a specific pipe type here. I'm not sure what it is. So those plumbing fixtures that we imported earlier, we're going to go ahead and do that again. So we loaded those Autodesk families. So you can click on plumbing fixture. Make sure that you have this set on place on vertical face. And then you're going to go grab the pipe connector domestic cold water plumbing fixture. And we're going to try and line it up here just like this. If you look at this, when you look at where that fixture is placed, it doesn't show up. It's not there. If we go to our section view, we can see that we've placed it down here in the floor, that pipe connector, and that's not where we want it. We want it quite a bit higher. So I'm going to try and get that pipe connector up to, at least somewhere along the height of those other fixtures. I'm not sure what it is, 1 foot 6 inches or something like that. It doesn't look like that's quite it. Maybe it's at 2 feet. Too high, so let's try 1 foot 9 inches. And 1 foot 10 inches. And it lined up. Perfect. There we go. 1 foot 10 inches. We got it lined up, and we got this pipe connector for our cold water. Exciting. Okay, I think I'm going to have this pop down, and we're going to have these run kind of at different heights, and just try and run them pretty close together. I think that's what we'll go for this. We'll put the hot water on top. So once we have that pipe connector in place, and we can look from the plumbing call out, and I see that it's there. We can see that pipe connector. Looks like it's up at the right height. I'm not sure why we're not able to view it necessarily. Let's switch our view to wireframe. That's better. Now we're able to see that plumbing fixture. Okay, we're going to go to pipe. We're going to grab the changes to chilled water pipe. Go to edit type. And in the edit box, you want to make sure that you have an elbow selected here for us to use. So you might click that drop-down menu and do the generic elbow, that pipe connector there. And then we can click on the pipe tool. We're going to go to the middle of the wall, like this. Oopsie. I think it's at the wrong height. So we have 3/4 inch, it's at 0, 10. We want this to be at 1 foot, 10 inches. We want that lined up, and we're going to go to the center of the wall. It was spitting back an error because it just didn't have the room. Okay, now for this one, we are going to drop down to maybe 1 foot 6 inches. I'm going to go back to the height here, and we're going to change this to 1 foot 6 inches. And we're going to head along this way. Get to the toilet. Not sure where that toilet connector is, so I'll just click here for right now. I changed the height of that pipe. You can see that area where the pipe dropped down there. And then let's go to our 3D view 2, and you can see that the cold water came from that pipe connector. I dropped down to 1 foot 6 inches, and I'm heading along this way. And I click on my toilet. It looks like we have this connector here for cold water. We can click that and see if it allows us to hook up to it or not. Sure, let us. But that is okay. A little weird, but we can mess around with that. So we've got this connector. We are going to tee off here in just a second. And probably head over to that toilet. Give me 1 second for us to, oopsie. Okay, so we need to tee off and get these two things joined. The first thing we got to do, you can move in the Learn something new. Look at that. Okay. So we're going to try and tee this off and get water into the wall here to kind of get these working together. So I'm going to actually add another section view next to my toilet. We've got this section view here. I wonder if you can just drag this section view. Oh yeah, that's pretty easy. I'm just going to move that section view down. And then I should be able to click on this fixture, hopefully, and get some pipe to come out of there. This is 1 inch diameter. We want to go with that 3/4 inch chilled water. Doesn't like that. I think what we're going to do, oh, it did work. That's interesting. That's okay. Doesn't have the matching pipe connector, but doesn't seem to be a huge problem. So we're going to tee off some cold water. We'll head into the wall here. So that toilet is hooked up. And we're going to, why don't we tee this up and this direction as well. Let's look at our plumbing call out. Are they connected? How did I do that? First try. Nice. That was like an accident. Okay, if we want our water to continue, we've teed off here to go down to our toilet. Fine. You can click this little elbow and click the plus button and add a T so that can continue. And now we're going to wrap our cold water around and go to the sinks. Okay, so how do we do this? Plumbing call out. We get the height of this particular fitting, which is, or the tube, the middle height is 1 foot 6 inches. So grab the pipe, come over here. All right, and we're going to come all the way around in the wall to make a corner. Hopefully, this works well. We're going to need some pipe connectors here, so let me tee this off like that. All right, so we need the hot and cold water connectors here because we don't have the faucets hooked up for this, and I'm probably going to get too detailed in putting those in. Let's grab the architecture. Sorry, let's go to systems, plumbing fixture. We want that domestic cold water. Cold water, I believe, is on the right wall like this. Okay, and if you want to make a copy of this, you can go to the Modify tab, click that pipe fixture, press Copy. It'll ask for like a point of reference, and then you can copy it over there, and that other one will show up. And what that allows us to do, let's see what the height of these are. They are at 0, so I should have done, let me scratch that. You get to see that one more time. I'm going to click this one. I'm going to place it at 1 foot 6 inches with my other pipe. I'm going to press the copy tool after I select. So I'll select it, press copy. It asks for a reference point. I click there. I'll put that reference point there, and it should copy that cold water supply fixture there over to the right. Okay. Now, we're going to go into systems and pipe, and work fast, and we're going to elbow that. You can change the view here to fine as well in these top-down views. Having the shaded view is actually kind of nice sometimes. Click here, press the plus button, continue going with our pipe all the way to there and in. That's good, we've got that. And actually, I think what makes the most sense for us getting our water down into the basement, I don't know if I do let's do wireframe. What makes the most sense for getting our water down into the basement, maybe it is harder to see in the video, is we can put a split in this pipe, and this will be our cold water supply. So I'm going to actually put a split in the pipe right here. There's no other fixtures in the bathroom. And then we're going to switch to our we're going to go like this, actually. So I'm going to go to Systems, Pipe. I got my chilled water selected, 3/4 inch. And I'm going to change the height. It's currently at 1 foot 6 inches, and I'm going to go down into the basement. I'm going to change this to -1 foot 6 inches and see where we're at. Okay, so I'm going to go into here, come over like so. And we don't have a view in the basement, so let's go up to level 3, which is our basement. See that this is set to fine. Let's change that to fine. Have a shaded view there so we can see the basement. And the reason I'm doing this is I'm going to create a couple more views of the basement so we can see our piping. I'll do a camera view right here. All right, and we can see that pipe coming down. All right, coming down, and it's going to be heading hopefully out the wall over there. So we got that pipe. Okay. All right, so we've got the pipe. Go back up to the view here. We've got our cold water going to the tub, heading over to each sink, which PBH is kind of at the wrong height, but all right, it pops down through the floor and then it's headed that way. Now, if I look at that view, you can see that I don't have those pipes joined, so I do a plus button there and then make sure those two are connected. All right, good. So we've got cold water supply coming down through the basement floor. And let's go back to my plumbing call out. You can't see the pipe down in the basement, but if you press VR, you'll get a little box that pops up for view range. And I'm going to change that to like -12 feet. And press OK. And then we can see that pipe that's sticking out down in the basement down there. I want to get this down to the wall where our cold water supply comes in. But first, I'm going to grab that plumbing systems, plumbing fixture. No, that's not right. Systems, plumbing fixture, and we're going to grab that hot water boiler or whatever it was called. Oh, it must not be in here. It must be in architecture here. Component, place component. Let's go to hot water. Let's grab this 500, and we're going to grab a hot water maker here. And we're going to place that in this corner of the house. So what we're going to do is when I get my systems going in here, I'm going to pipe this way. Come down. We're going to run all the way over to the wall at -1 foot 6 inches. So probably got hangers, so we're out of the way. Running this way. We want a little bit of space to drop down and go in, so I'm going to stop a little bit shy. Come over this direction. Trying to get that kind of lined up in the middle. We'll see if it'll let me. Not really lined up. It's kind of we can line it up after the fact. Let's do an align. I want to align with this middle line edge. Okay, good. Right, and then now I got to know the height of my pipe. This is going to be a little tricky. So if I go to my 3D View 3, I've got my hot water maker. Oh no, did I put on level 1? I think I did. It's in level 1. Oh no. Okay. Get that out of there. We need to be in level 3. So where's level 3? All right, let's do architecture, component. I want that boiler right in here. We're going to flip this around. Put that down in the basement. Hopefully that's in line now. We'll shift that over a little bit. There we go. All right, and now we can do the Systems tab. I placed it on the wrong level. Classic. Classic, classic. All right. Not seeing some of the plumbing here, which is a little concerning. Let's see what VR is. Associated level, level 3. 7'6" Let's go up to 10 feet. Apply, and looks like we're maybe seeing some of that pipe there. Strange. I'm not sure why we're not seeing it, but that's okay. Plumbing call out. We're looking down on our call out, and I'm going to change the height of this to like -9 feet, and we'll see how that looks. All right, let's take a look. Oop, too far. So what is the height of this? Try that again. I'm not sure what the height is. Let's try that again. Pipe. I come down here like this. Chilled water. -9 is too much. Let's try -7 feet. Let's see where we're at. Looks pretty good. -7 feet, and we can change our eye elevation here. Or if we can click this particular fixture. Elevation, -2 feet. Relative, let's do -6 feet. There we go. So we need to come down maybe like 3 inches or something. So we'll click this pipe, -7 feet. Let's do -7 feet, 3 inches. And let's apply. A little bit more, -7 feet, 4 inches. And we're in line. Go to my plumbing call out. That's okay. Cancel. Doesn't like it. Whatever. You get the picture. All right, so we've got our cold water pipes that go up to the ceiling. They're hanging up there. They go up through the wall and into our bathroom to plumb the cold water. All right, so now we're gonna do the same thing with hot water, and I gotta try and draw fast. Let's do this. So, systems. Whoopsie. Tape. Call out. We're gonna add plumbing equipment. We're gonna add plumbing fixtures. We want the domestic hot water. Back up here. I know that this is at 1'10". Click that fixture. Current height is at 1'10". Apply. Bring this pipe out. It is not 1 inch. We're going to make that 3/4 inch. So, that. And this is not chilled water. This is standard. You can see that red outline there. I'm going to drop this down to 1'8". So it's sitting just above our domestic. Oh no, it's 3/4 inch pipe. Put it back in error. It doesn't have an elbow in here, so hold on. I'm going to change that to 3/4 inch pipe. Wow. Try that again. Okay, when we choose pipe, we have the standard hot water. That's fine. It's set to hot water. We know we want it to be 3/4 inch, so we should be able to click this. 1'10". There we go. And then it's not letting us make the elbow. Oh, it did work this time. Good. It has an elbow selected. We now have this pipe here. It's hard to see because they're right over each other, but we can look at 3D view 1, or actually 3D view 2, and we can see that we have that water coming down there. Let's change the height of that to 1 foot 8 inches, maybe. Oh, that changed the whole thing. Oopsie. Plumbing call out like this. I'm going to delete. I'm going to bring this thing out to the middle. And then before I draw my pipe, a 3/4 inch pipe, I'm going to change the height to 1 foot 8 inches and drop this down. And then we should see that drop happen there, and then these pipes can run all the way along. So the only other thing that needs hot water is our sinks. So we'll get that going here in just a sec. Okay, so let's go all the way down. This shouldn't take too long. Okay, and then systems, pipe. We'll go all the way to here. And 3D view 1, we can see that pipe wrapping around. Let's now put in our hot water connectors. So we go plumbing fixture. We have our hot water connectors, flipping that around. Okay, and 1 foot 8 inches, the height. 1 foot 8 inches, like so. And I'm going to line those up and make sure that's looking good. Our connectors there. And then let's go ahead and get these out. Good. And all this process is just basically the same as what we did before. Press copy. Press this. Copy reference point right there. Click right there. That gets copied over. Looking at this view, I can take a look at this fitting. And come out this way. Okay, plumbing call out. We're almost done. Systems, pipe, all the way to there. Connect. And I'm wondering if there's a 3-way. Yeah, but hot water. I don't know if this will let me go straight down. We'll just tee off this other direction. That plumbing call out, and we're gonna pipe it this way, and then I'm gonna go down to -1 foot 4 inches. All right, so I'm going to come down this way, and we're going to keep these pipes next to each other, or somewhere close. I guess they were it was at 1 foot 6. Isn't that 6 inches? So we'll come down like this, and I hope we have enough room. These pipes next to each other, and then we should be able to get this hot water down where it's supposed to go. Yeah, down here, and then we kind of do that same process all over again. We've got hot water running and then drops down. Okay, that's it for this video. The bell just rang, so the hot water goes in the top, cold water goes in the bottom for our hot water maker. Stay tuned for another video for waste lines. Thanks for watching.